can you take 1 month off your business without feeling guilty? So, can you take 1 month off your business without feeling guilty? Hi, I'm Alison from the Second Mountain team.
And I'm Wolfgang, and from the Second Mountain founder, the founder of the Second Mountain.
So, today, the challenge we have is, can you take time off in your business for a month when you need it? So
Mm.
this is a problem. It feels like a leadership problem, and it's a difficult dilemma. And we have Aurora, and she is from Romania. She's a co-founder of a consultancy with 50 employees. She's a mom as well. And she wonders, can she take time off, especially a month off, because she's been working every single day and she feels guilty thinking about taking that 1 month off. She's tried to delegate her workload in the past, but the problem is that she is the most competent person in the room,
Mm.
so she cannot let it go. And it's like she cannot let go of the reins and allow her team to find their own stride.
That's a really good question. And funnily enough, I'm in my camper van. So um, the question is like, am I a month off? Can I also be a month off? It's a good question. So can we as founders be a month off? But like you said, the founder you're describing, Aurora is her name, right?
Yes.
Aurora, she said, I'm feeling guilty. So we unpack it. So we have 1 month, it's a long time period. The second thing is there's the guilt. And the last thing I heard, she's the most competent person in the room.
Exactly.
Uh, Defined by whom? Herself, by the team. And also the question is like, what if she's not in the room? How much competence do you need in the room while she's away?
Mm. Yeah. I think
And
it's
actually, like,
probably defined by herself, the competence, because that's something that she
yeah,
said.
yeah. I just like remember, like, I think that which I always saw in my own company and different companies, the moment when you have high competent people, the moment they go into holidays or they turn sick or something, other people can shine their light. Because the
Mm.
most competent people are shining so bright that in their brightness, everybody else's light is in the shadow. You cannot see it. It's you don't. It's kind of you cannot see it. But in the moment you turn the main light off, you see there's a lot of bright lights in the room.
But how do you turn that light off to allow other lights to shine?
Yeah, first thing like you need to allow it, and by that is the first thing it starts with. There's a topic of trust. Of can you can you test? I mean, 1 month is it's a daring test, right? But what if you test it for 2 days? Did something break in 2 days? Probably she has been away for a week, even 2 days or for a week, and nothing probably happened, or something happened. But the question, what was needed, and yeah, so there's a lot of the topic of do we have the capacities in the room, and about finding out is it like what is needed there, and is someone else can fulfill it, and you can really say like this is what we have to do the next month. Who's taking over? It's much more practical. Who like what is the things that could break? Write down all the tasks and say like who won these, and if the team needs to grab it and say, oh, I'm responsible for this. So I think this is how you can practically tackle it. But there's the other topic of the guilt, which triggers me more.
Yeah.
It's a self allowance, right? And by making myself so important, we say, oh, I have guilt, go away. I'm just wondering if I really believe it, right?
Mm.
If do you really like I really wonder if I really believe the guilt, because it's kind of like, oh, I'm letting the other people down because I'm so brilliant and no one can work with me. I feel it's not guilt. It's just my assumption. It's not guilt. It's control.
Mm-hmm. So she mentioned she has a co-founder as well.
Yeah.
So how would the co-founder come into this element of guilt? So how would you tackle that? The
Yeah, because
guilt
one
part.
thing you can say, like, if you have guilt with the co-founder, you can say like, oh, it's unfair. And let's
Mm,
say if you have a co-founder who doesn't want to take a month off, okay, then you say like, how can we even that out? It's about open discussion about, you know what, I really would love to take a month off. I know you don't have this need, um, or even like the company cannot send us off both, and I really need 1 month. Then the question is, are you okay with that? Having an open conversation. It's about asking. Maybe the other person says, no, I'm not okay. I knew it. What would it make it okay? If I get a compensation in salary. If I can take this off next year. If you are finishing that job that is always annoying. Like I'm begging you to do this job since 2 years. If you can finish this job, you know what? This is more for me more worth than this month off. So what can you give in return? And because if there's a feeling of guilt, if we stick to that one, there is something why it's true. The guilt is that it has a foundation, and
mm,
but only the other person can flip that into value. And you need to deliver. Like, it's about delivering value. I would ask myself, how can I deliver a value for you that you feel comfortable that I'm away for a month?
mm.
If I fixed everything with my team, the team is okay.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, there's no need to guilt. Otherwise, it's more like it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. So it's about having that open conversation. So when you have a co-founder, so if you want to take a month off, have that conversation first with your co-founder just to understand where they stand with it, and because it might be that they are completely fine with it, maybe not, and if not, find out what it is that they would value in return for having you take that time off. Is that right?
Yeah, well, they are taking off your guilt
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there's something you feel could be unfair, and by tackling it, and even if they say no, it's okay, dig deeper
Mm,
because otherwise you will pay this later, much on a higher price. They will always put it on your desk, right? So you took off. No, is it? I mean, it really, honestly, is it okay if I take the month off? You are doing the work, and do you also want to take a month off? No. Okay, so I feel it's kind of like, how can we compensate that? And if they really say, you know what, you worked last year so hard, and the week before last, and I took 2 weeks, it's the same. Then it's really even.
mm.
Otherwise, it creates this. It might come back, and
So
we don't want. Mhm.
So you're saying that there should always be like a compensation for it. So you and your co-founder should always be on an equal basis. So
Yeah, and whatever the value is, the value exchange, right?
mm,
And it's also like, you know what, do me, support me in this job, do this, do that. I want to like, we don't know. It's not that we have the same currency to make. We have different currencies that makes us happy,
yeah. Hmm.
and so yeah, so find the currency that makes your co-founder happy.
Yeah, it's really understanding that value, that currency, whatever it looks like, and communicating that just so you both are on the same page. So that's really important. And then also you mentioned what you mentioned was really good was writing down like, okay, so you want to take a month off. What could go wrong in that month? Just make a list, and then you can plan ahead. So once you look at that list, then you can tackle each one. How can you
Yeah,
prepare for think it might be something to do with team, maybe you need somebody else involved in this project or something else, but then you can at least start to plan that early.
yeah, yeah. And now enjoy your holidays.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. That was very insightful. And if anybody else has any questions, we have a Google form that you can put in your question and let us know what you would like us to tackle in next week's live. And Thank you very much, Taryn. So Taryn says, well, I love the insights about guilt and having an open conversation. That's very important. So thank you very much. And we
Yeah,
will
thank
catch
you so
you
much.
next week. Bye.
Bye.